Are you thinking about hiring a digital marketing agency? Maybe you want to invest in Google Ads, meta advertising on Facebook and Instagram, organic social media posting, or SEO. Welcome back to the Heavyweight Digital channel, where we're going to cover some essential questions you need to ask to ensure you don't get caught out. Asking these questions will help you understand the agency's approach, capabilities, and how they can truly support your business goals. So let's dive in and make sure you're fully prepared before making that important decision. Starting with a very important one, will I own my ads account and website? This is absolutely crucial. You'd be surprised how many businesses run into problems because they didn't clarify this up front. If an agency is creating a Google Ads account for you, you need to make sure that you'll have full access to it and, more importantly, ownership of it. The same goes for your website. But why is this so important? Well, imagine you've been working with an agency for a year, they've been running your ads, managing your website, and for whatever reason, you decide to part ways. If you don't own your accounts and assets, you could be left starting from scratch. All that valuable data, gone. Your website, you might need to build a new one, possibly even with a new domain name. So when you're talking to an agency, make sure they're clear about giving you full ownership and access. Clarify that if you left, could you take these assets with you? If the answer is no, or they try to dodge the question, it's a massive red flag. Remember that these are your business assets and you should have complete control over them, regardless of who's managing them day to day. Next question. Have you worked with a business in my industry before? Now, this is an interesting one because the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. On one hand, it's great to work with an agency that has experience in your industry. They'll understand the nuances, the typical customer journey, and maybe even some insider knowledge that could give you an edge. But here's the flip side. Some agencies specialize in one type of client. For example, they might only work with legal firms. Whilst this means they have deep industry knowledge, it also means they could be working with your direct competitors. Is that something you're comfortable with? On the other hand, some agencies offer industry exclusivity. This means they won't work with other businesses in your industry whilst they're working with you. Sounds great, right? But keep in mind, this often means they don't specialize in your industry. So what's the best approach? It really depends on your preferences and needs. If you're in a highly specialized field, an agency with industry experience might be crucial. But if you're more concerned about your agency working with competitors, you might prefer one that offers exclusivity. The key is to have an open conversation about this and understand the pros and cons of each approach. Let's talk about creatives. A good question to ask is, do you make the creatives? This is super important because, let's face it, we're living in a visual world. Ad platforms are increasingly demanding high-quality images and videos to use in campaigns. So you need to know, is the agency going to handle this, or is it on you? If the agency does provide creatives, dig a little deeper. Are they pulling stock images and videos? Are they using AI-generated content? Or do they have an in-house production team that can create the custom visuals from scratch? Each of these approaches has its pros and cons in terms of cost, uniqueness, and quality. Now, if you're a business with a strong brand identity or specific visual requirements, you might prefer to provide your own raw materials. In that case, ask the agency, can they work with your assets? Many agencies offer a collaborative approach where you provide the raw images and videos and they edit them into effective ad creatives. You can also handle all of the creative creation yourself. Remember, the quality of your visuals can make or break your campaigns. So make sure you're clear on who's responsible for what when it comes to creative production. Now let's talk timelines. It's important to ask, how fast can I expect results? This question helps set realistic expectations right from the start. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Different types of digital marketing strategies have different timelines, and it also varies by industry. For example, pay-per-click advertising can often show results pretty quickly, sometimes within days or even weeks. On the other hand, search engine optimization is more of a long game, often taking months to see significant results. Your industry plays a role too. If you're in a highly competitive field, it might take longer to build up momentum and see substantial results. Less competitive industries might see faster progress. A good agency should be able to give you a ballpark estimate based on their experience and your specific situation. They should also explain the factors that could influence this timeline. Be wary of agencies promising overnight success or guaranteed results in a specific time frame. Digital marketing is powerful, but it's not magic. This leads perfectly into a crucial question. Do you guarantee results? Now, I'm going to be straight with you. If an agency guarantees specific results, that should actually be a red flag. Why? Because in digital marketing, there are so many factors outside of an agency's control that can impact your results. Things like seasonal fluctuations in demand, changes in search trends, new competitors entering the market, update to search engine algorithms, changes in your products or offering or pricing. All of these can significantly impact the performance of your digital marketing efforts, and they're largely out of the agency's control. What a good agency should offer instead is commitment to best practices, continuous optimization, and transparent reporting. But they should be able to be upfront about the uncertainties and variables involved. Remember, digital marketing is not about guaranteed results, but informed strategies, continuous learning, and adaptation. An honest agency will set realistic expectations and work hard to achieve the best possible outcomes rather than making promises they can't be sure of keeping. Now, here's a question that gets overlooked. What do you need from me to get started? It's easy to think that once you hire an agency, you can sit back and watch the magic happen. But the truth is, your success is a collaborative effort. A good agency will need your input and involvement, especially at the beginning. They might need things like access to your existing accounts and analytics, information about your target audience, details about products or services, any brand assets, or historical data on your marketing efforts. Beyond that, they'll likely need your ongoing feedback on approval on strategies and content. Remember, no one knows your business as well as you do. Your insights are invaluable in shaping effective marketing strategies. Also, be prepared for some back and forth communication, especially in the early stages. The more information and feedback you can provide, the better the agency can tailor their efforts to your specific needs and goals. Now let's talk about metrics. A key question to ask is, how will you measure and report on success? This is crucial because it sets the foundation for how you'll evaluate the agency's performance. A good agency will have a clear and comprehensive reporting system in place. First, ask about the frequency of reports. Will you get weekly updates, monthly reports, or will you have access to a live dashboard that you can check anytime? Next, dig into the specifics of what they'll be measuring. Most agencies focus on conversions, things like purchases, leads generated, or bookings made, but make sure that these align with your business goals. Maybe you're more interested in brand awareness or engagement metrics. Whatever it is, make sure the agency can track and report on the KPIs that matter most to you. Also ask about how they present this data. Will it be in a format you can easily understand and act upon? Is it something that can fit into your schedule? You may want email reporting for you to digest in your own time, or maybe you want catch-up calls to discuss. These can be invaluable for understanding the data and planning the next steps. Remember, good reporting isn't just about numbers. It's about giving you the insights you need to make informed decisions about your digital marketing strategy. Here's a question that can save you a lot of headaches down the line. How often will we be in contact? Communication is key in any business relationship, and it's especially crucial when it comes to your digital marketing efforts. You need to establish clear expectations from the get-go. First, ask about regular check-ins. Will you have weekly calls, monthly meetings, quarterly reviews? Make sure this aligns with your needs and availability. But what about communication outside of these scheduled times? If you have a question or concern, how quickly can you expect a response? What's the best way to reach out? Email, phone, or maybe WhatsApp? Remember, more communication isn't always better. You want an agency that's responsive, but you also want them spending most of their time actually working on your campaigns, not just talking about them. Lastly, if the agency has allocated a certain number of management hours to your account, clarify whether communication time comes out of these hours. The key is finding a balance that works for both you and the agency, ensuring you're informed and involved without micromanaging. Here's a question that could save you from budget surprises. Is there anything I should budget for outside of your fees? When you're planning your digital marketing budget, you need to know all of the costs involved, not just the agency's fee. Different agencies structure their pricing in different ways, so it's important to get clarity. For instance, some agencies include your ad spend in their fees, while others ask that you pay for your ad spend directly to platforms like Google or Facebook. If it's the latter, make sure you understand how much you should be budgeting for ad spend. What about creative production? If the agency is making videos or custom graphics for your campaigns, is that included in their fee, or is it an additional cost? Don't forget about tools and software. Some agencies use specialized tools for keyword research, competitor analysis, or reporting. Are these costs built into your fee, or will you need to subscribe to these tools separately? Website-related costs are another area to clarify. If the agency is managing your website, who pays for hosting, domain renewals, or security certificates? Lastly, talk about any potential one-time costs, things like initial account setup fees or charges for major strategy overhauls. The goal here isn't to nickel and dime the agency, but to ensure you have a clear, comprehensive understanding of all the costs involved. This way you can budget accurately and avoid any unpleasant financial surprises down the road. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. How do your contracts work? Understanding the terms of your agreement with a digital marketing agency is crucial. It affects everything from your budget to your ability to make changes or move on if needed. First, ask about the contract duration. Some common setups include monthly rolling contracts with an initial setup fee, minimum term contracts, usually ranging from 3 to 12 months, project-based contracts or sprints for specific tasks or campaigns. Each of these has its pros and cons. Monthly contracts offer flexibility but might come with higher monthly fees. Longer term contracts might offer better rates but less flexibility. Next, ask about notice periods. If you decide to end the contract, how much notice do you need to give? 30 days is common, but it can vary. Another important point, what happens at the end of the contract term? Does the work automatically continue, or does it stop unless you specifically instruct them to carry on? Lastly, talk about any penalties or fees for early termination. You hope you won't need to use this information, but it is better to know up front. Remember, there's no universally right contract setup. The best one depends on your specific needs, budget, and comfort level. The key is to fully understand the terms before you sign, so you know exactly what you're committing to. And finally, a practical question. When can you start work on the ads? This might seem straightforward, but it's crucial for your planning. Some agencies might be able to start right away, while others might have a waiting list of several weeks or even months. If the agency can't start immediately, ask for a specific date. This helps you plan broader marketing strategies and set realistic expectations when you might start seeing results. Also consider how this timeline aligns with your business needs. If you're approaching a busy season or a major product launch, you'll want to ensure the agency can start work well in advance. If the agency's timeline doesn't quite match yours, don't be afraid to ask if there's any flexibility. Sometimes they might be able to shuffle things around or offer a phased start, beginning with the most crucial elements of your campaign. Remember, a good agency will be honest about their capacity, start dates, all those kind of things. It's better to wait a bit longer for an agency that can give your campaigns the attention they deserve rather than rushing in with one that's overextended. And there you have it. These 11 questions should give you a solid foundation for evaluating a potential digital marketing agency. Remember, the right agency for you is one that not only has the skills and experience you need, but also aligns with your communication style, budget, and business goals. Don't be afraid to ask these questions and any others that come to mind. After all, this is a significant investment in your business's future. If you found these questions helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there are any other questions that you would want to ask an agency.